Bem-vindo! Hoje é o nosso primeiro programa falando no inglês, no Conectv.
Welcome to the Algarve by Conectv.
Natalia Rosso Properties. Your wise investment is our high priority. Kit and Caboodle, high-quality pre-loved furniture. GC Partners, our service is our currency. At Living Life Algarve by Catherine Almeida.
Welcome back to the Algarve. For all of you that have watched to see what's going on here, you'll have seen that this year has been absolutely unprecedented with regards to the weather. We've had little cyclones, we've had trees down, we've had roofs off, we've had garden furniture thrown all over the place. What else we had? We had a little tornado in Villamora Marina. No one's been hurt, we're all good, but we're not used to this wind and rain and turmoil. And then a couple of days ago, there was a blackout throughout Iberia. So no doubt you'll have seen it on the news everywhere. Spain, Portugal, parts of France. We had reports from Italy and other places. Had complete blackout. So general turmoil. Turmoil that left people frightened, confused. Nobody knew what was going on. But wherever there's a yin, there's a yang, and vice versa. So I'm really happy today to show you the other side of all that turmoil here in the Algarve with our guest, Inês Martins. And Inês brings tranquility and peace and love and harmony to everything around her. So over to our piece of tranquility today. Inês, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for this space and being here with you today.
You're very, very welcome. I think for me, you epitomise everything that is harmony and tranquility, because it's you, the embodiment of you, what you do to help other people, and how you've put all that together and you've integrated it in your design projects, which is absolutely super. So where did it all start?
I think it started when I was a teenager. It's being in a home where my mother was always moving things around, furniture around. She's very creative, wanting to create new changes in her life. So I saw her keep moving things. And I also did the same in my little room. Painted the walls, kept changing the decor. So for me it was, something from early age. I did study fashion and design in Portugal. Then I moved to London at 19.
So were you born here in Portugal?
Yes, born and raised in Lisbon. At 19, I moved to London, where I was for 6 years.
Brave move.
Yes, where I studied my English. And then after 6 years, I went to the US, again, where I lived for 12 years, built an interior design company, my own, luxury homes by the water. And then Mexico, and then back to Portugal. It's been a journey.
So is that basically where your business has been, just in the States, and here, I was going to say. But I know you love to travel. Do you take those designs with you when you go? Do you do other places as well?
Yes. International projects are really my passion. And my travels is where I get my inspiration from. Since early age, I've always been a big traveler. So I take the inspirations from different cultures, different places I visit. I love getting to know, different landscapes. That's where my inspiration comes from. The peace that I get, even traveling on my own, walking in nature. That's where really I feel connected.
And how do your clients take to that? Because this is very much you, but you also, you put a little bit of them in there as well. So if somebody's coming to you, presumably they don't have time or they don't trust their own ability to be able to make these changes in the space that they're living in. So how do you integrate what you're doing with who they are?
It's all a process, and it starts with a beautiful conversation where I get to know my clients, I understand their needs, their personalities, I study a little bit of their background to really understand what they need, not just for their space, but within themselves. What are they looking for? For example, a lot of people are looking for more peace in their lives, but their home is chaotic. And so that's like a reflection of how they are experiencing their lives. So I normally say that the home really holds this frequency that if it's in a state where they can relax, because our home is the place where we can relax, then it's a process of understanding what they really like, combined with their personality. Mm-hmm. And the process keeps going on until the final product is done. Their home is where they feel at home, where they feel seen and understood, and they feel really comfortable in their own space to create, to be, in their sanctuary, So it's a place where they feel really, that reflects their essence.
And this is something that they must take with them into the other aspects of their lives. I read something about you to do with singing. You told a story about you singing, that you weren't confident, you didn't believe that you could do it, and you've made this transition to becoming a confident person who can stand up there and sing and love what you do. And that sounds very much like you're showing these people, when they're saying, I can't do it, it's not me, I don't know how to start, you're giving them that confidence to make those changes.
I think I've gone through several experiences in my life where I faced things that I thought I wouldn't be able to, and just giving the jump forward really brings in that confidence within you, and you learn through the process. Standing on stage is one of the things that I thought it would be, super hard for me, but going through it and doing it, I guess everybody will feel fear at some point through changes in life, and I do have some experiences that I can say, trust in yourself and give the step forward to see where you get.
Yeah. We were talking about languages just before the show started, and we were saying that sometimes it's that inner fear of making a fool of yourself or getting it wrong. Yeah. And when you realise it doesn't actually matter, it doesn't matter at all. Yeah. It's actually more fun if you get it wrong and you make somebody laugh. They're going to correct you, and then you're going to remember how to say it. Yeah. And again, if you were to do your decorate your own room and you realise, you know what, it's the colours I like, and I like the furniture, but something's off here, something isn't quite right. It's having that ability to be able to see the changes, and of course that's where you're going to come in, to say, well, if you turn it around this way, or you change the light that way, whatever it is you do to create, as you said, that sanctuary. Yeah. It has to create a beautiful feeling.
Yeah. Let me just start by saying the fear of being ridiculous in front of other people, I feel like that every single person has. Yeah. It's a human thing. It's like, I don't want to look less than, I don't want to, it's everyone has that. And we all go from a stage where we don't know until we know. And the only way is to experience. And the way I started interior design, it was through small projects where I did make mistakes. I painted in colors where then I understood certain colors was activating different emotions, even in my own home. I did this mistake once. It was not a mistake, it was my lesson. My very first little apartment in Miami, I painted a tiny little wall in red. Don't ask me why, I just thought it would be great. Then I understood, I started to have conflicts with the person that I was with in that apartment, because that red on the wall was activating a lot of fire, which brings passion but also brings aggression. So being really attentive to the colors we choose, and it's something that an interior designer learns and incorporates that in projects, understanding what is the colors that create more peace. For example, for the bedroom, which is very important, is a place where we sleep. We need to rest our bodies, our minds, our soul, so we can have energy the following day. So certain colors must be applied that are more neutral, more soft. Of course, you can still use a pop of color of your choice if you like to bring a little bit of passion, but use it in a smaller piece of decor, a little pillow. You can even do red or purple or something in a bedroom, which spikes that passion and that vibrant energy. But you wouldn't want like a whole bedroom, like the majority of the color, like be super heavy. So if you like big pops of color, you can use more of that in the living room or in a space where you're more creative, in your office. So, that spikes creativity. So there's so much to say about colors and spaces.
Yeah, definitely. And certainly as you walk into a room, it will also, it changes your thought pattern at the time.
Yeah.
As you walk in, you said you can feel overwhelmed, you can feel almost confrontational, or you can feel totally at peace.
Yes. Every single space holds an energy that even if you don't understand about energy and you're not sure what's going on, you feel it. You walk into a space and like you said, you can feel this sense of, I feel good in here. Now I could live in this space. Yeah. Or the opposite. It's like, oh, something going on. Even if in spaces like you go into a restaurant or you go into a bar and you have like, there's something here. I don't know what to say, what it is, but I'm not comfortable with. So that's the energy of the entire space, which of course affects the people that live in the space, and it will affect our thoughts, our emotions, our well-being, our health. It affects us in all levels, and we're not even realizing that. So imagine living in a home that is not in alignment with who you are. Let's say totally different, chaotic, messy, maybe dirty, disorganized. That will affect your productivity, your focus, your concentration, your emotions. So it does have a huge effect on you as a person.
And of course, you don't just do this with design. We've said just now that you sort of educate your clients to understand what's wrong with that has been wrong, and to accept what's right to create this better space for themselves. But of course, you take it further than that, don't you? You run your own retreats.
Yes, it's been a beautiful journey of incorporating two of my biggest passions, which is the interior design part and the energy work. Since I've known myself, I always like to help people, and I was always the one giving advices and helping and growing up. And then I understood, okay, don't give an advice if no one is asking, especially to your own family. But then it became something that I incorporated with my own interior design clients, because a lot of them would come, reach out, asking, like, I see you so peaceful. How do you do that? And it took me, I gave a big step forward during the pandemic where there was so much fear in the air. A lot of people were going through struggles in life and they couldn't handle all those emotions, everything they were going through. And a lot of them reached out. So that was a time that I used that like momentum to start doing energy healing retreats to really bring people into their own peace within themselves. Because again, you can have a beautiful home and really well decorated, but if you're not in peace with yourself, it wouldn't. So it's both. We got to work within ourselves to find that balance and our spaces. So now I combine the both. I bridge interior design with energy work, and I love it. I just two things that sometimes I do more energy work, sometimes I do more decoration, but at the end it's all part of who I am.
And I think also, again, reading a little bit more about you, most of us have heard about Reiki, maybe Subo points, shiatsus, these sort of things. But you studied something different that I haven't heard of. So what's that?
Yeah, Kundalini activation.
Kundalini.
Yes. Okay. So for the ones that don't understand this term, well, Kundalini is our own energy life force. We all have it as humans. And the method that I've studied activates that life force within yourself. So I would say the best way to explain is that as children, our energy is activated, is this beautiful life force. They run, they speak their truth, they really themselves, they don't hide, they don't. But as we grow up, we have this tendency to
become conditioned, don't you?
Exactly. And traumas come in, and stories come in, and we get this fear of being judged. We get so many fears. So suddenly we move into something else. We get out of our essence. And this light that once was so sparkling, it becomes dimmed. And a lot of the times, as we go live our daily life, and we're not really shining and speaking our truth and being our authentic selves. So by activating this energy within us, it activates that we just come back to our essence, to our confidence, to our strength. So whatever we need to align, it happens in this work that I do, the Kundalini activation. It's a beautiful, powerful work. I just
And this
love
is
it.
presumably part of your retreats.
Exactly, yeah.
And how does that work? Is this one-on-one, or you work as group activities? What do you do?
I love doing it in group, but I also have private clients that prefer one-on-one. Mm-hmm. So it really depends on the need of every person. Every person is so unique, so specific, that again, I like to understand what's their, how will they be benefit about doing this work. So I go through, it's like a self-discovery journey. And I never repeat the same program for everyone, because your needs are so different from everybody else's. So I just, I go on this conversation with someone, and then maybe this will turn into a one-on-one healing session. Maybe it will become a group session, or even I go into the home and do some clearing of the energy,
Okay.
Removing the stagnation of the space. So I just do all this.
And is Kundalini a physical thing, or it's just a verbal, emotional journey?
Neither.
Okay.
It's pure energetic.
Okay.
It's so we understand we are energy. Our bodies is energy. We have the tendency to see our body as like this is my body, but actually our aura, our energetic field goes all around us. So that's how we are standing here, but you can feel my energy. You can understand, and I'm way beyond the physical body and emotional body. So Kundalini activation, what it does is activates the energy. So it's pure energy work. It can be done by touching the person or online. Or even if you are on the other side of the world, this works the same way.
Distance healing.
Yes, because it's beautiful. A beautiful example would be like internet. We don't see internet, but we all believe in it. We all need it. We all use it every day. But we don't see how it runs. The same as energy. We don't see how the energy runs, but we all are it. Every single item we have around the space has energy.
Okay. So going back to your design work, it becomes more and more obvious about why you're as successful as you are, because of course if you're being able to integrate all of that into somebody's home, people probably don't ever want to go to work. They need an interior space for that as well. Has there been a particular project that's been more challenging than another? Have you had some opposition?
Every project is so different. I wouldn't say more challenging than other. Sometimes, okay, I'll tell you what. Sometimes, depending on the city, sometimes there are rules we have to follow. And the client has this idea that wants to open up and create a bigger roof and bigger windows, and you just got to go through all this laws in the city. So sometimes that can delay. But apart from that, it's just like an exploration. It's very intimate project too, because we do it together with the clients. So it's a process where we go on this journey together, and it's almost like an interior designer finds the solutions for the little things. Yeah. And we become so known. I mean, the relationship between the interior designer and the client becomes so, it's like a link. That is a beautiful journey, I would say. Yeah.
And what about the furnishings and the products themselves? Do you have suppliers that you go to that create or that have the sort of things that you want and you ship them out, or do you source locally?
A lot of the times locally. Sometimes the client wants something very specific. And let's say I tune in into the space. I feel what the space needs. Most of the times it's not just like any furniture. Sometimes the space is calling in for a specific item that, let's say, I'll find it in Bali. and if, of course, the project budget allows it, I would go get that piece. Yeah. That's why I like to travel a lot, because some of these unique pieces you get during the trips. And my focus is not so much to create just like a beautiful space, but more like a space with authenticity and a space that has a soul, that each item really has a meaning, an intention to be there, and a meaning to the clients. So yeah, there's a lot of differences from different interior design.
So is there somewhere that you would you'd like to really go? Have you thought, okay, I'd love to do a project in Italy? Is there somewhere that you haven't worked in yet that you'd like to?
I haven't done any in Italy. Now that you're saying, I am really called to do projects by the waterfront homes. Clients that sometimes they have more than one home, and they become friends. They like to work with me in one project, and then they call me for another project somewhere else. So definitely open for projects in the coast of Italy. But anywhere really that is by the water really calls my attention.
Because of the negative ions from the sea or the water? Do you think?
I love to be surrounded by nature, and I was always raised right next to the ocean. I feel like it's part of who I am. It feeds me. I think the water really feeds the earth. I love to use all the elements in projects. It's a big thing. And being by the water, it feeds me, my creativity. So I guess I will attract the clients that are in alignment with me. Yeah. Not so much I did in the past, but maybe not so much projects that are so enclosed in cities, because that's no longer who I am today. Mm-hmm. I feel like I like to incorporate more nature, more living elements in the space, and the surroundings really matter too.
Yeah. So where do you've done so much already, and you've touched the lives of so many people. Where do you think, are you happy to keep doing what you're doing, or do you think do you have a goal, or you're just going to flow with your future, whatever that might bring?
Part of my personality is about expanding. So I'm always curious to know what else. I'm always studying little things. There's always something to study and something to grow. I've studied many different healing methods, for example. So I incorporate them all today within my services. But yeah, for who I am today and what I want to become is, reaching more people, really being in contact with people that honor and know they want more in their lives, and they are open for that. Not necessarily people that understand everything about energy, but they understand there's something else and they want to live a better life. And I'm open for that, and the life will guide me. I always say I have beautiful guides that will take me to where I need to be. So sometimes I travel and I meet different people and I meet different projects. So I allow myself to be that. I consider myself very free, like a free soul, with very little attachments. So I just go where my soul calls me to.
That's absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And of course, you said you were here. You went to London. You went to the States.
Yes.
And now you're back here. So would you consider the Algarve now to be your home base?
It's my base for now. Yes. I do have more plans also to come back to the United States at some point. So I'm open for projects there as well. Maybe California will. The coast of California have a similarity to the coast of Portugal. That's beach lifestyle. I love Mexico too. I've lived in Mexico for 2 years in Tulum, where I also got a lot of inspiration from their architecture, and so not really attached to one place. But for now, Algarve, the beautiful beach and the sunshine.
Yeah. And do you prefer to take on an existing building that's possibly got a bit of history and a bit of the cultural characteristics, or would you feel just as happy taking on a new build and taking it from scratch?
Both, yeah. Residential, in particularly residential homes, but it could be from an older building or totally new. It's
Because they have completely different feelings, don't they?
They do, yes, they do. Especially, in Europe, for example, there's a lot of older constructions. Not so much in the United States. In the United States, there's a lot of this, of building new. But what I've understood and I experienced here in Portugal, there's a lot of older buildings, and of course, the energy is totally different. And there, a lot of the times, there's a need to cleanse the space. I've experienced that on my own journey, where I've moved so many times from so many countries and also many homes. So every home has a particular energy, and a lot of the times, just to give an idea, whoever was living in the building before, in the space before, left a little bit of their own energy. Sometimes there's happy energy. Sometimes there's painful energy, more different emotions energy. So, it really, sometimes it needs a little more cleanse.
And of course, as you know, we have the majority of the people who have been buying here for the last 5 or 6 years have been American and Canadian. And the one thing that seems to draw people is the history of the properties we have. We often, again, we're looking for an older property. And it's the character, and I think it's that history behind it that draws them in. And of course, once they're here, they realise that you don't have the insulating, and you don't have this, and we've got the character, we've got the history, but there's a lot of things that need to be done to it. But that's one of the first things that I would say 80% of my American clients have asked for, something with that history.
Yeah.
So
you know what happens? A lot of the times someone is feeling attracted to certain properties because there's an energy there that are calling them in. There could be lessons behind it. It not necessarily is going to be an easy journey. And I will definitely say, whatever you move to, do a cleanse. Allow the space to be cleansed before you move in. It's very important, and a lot of people don't see that. They just leave really one space, like in a rush. They just pack and go and move into a new space, because the move from one home to the other is a huge thing. It takes a lot of energy, and it's way beyond just packing and going. but it's like a new start of your life. So if you see it this way, like, wouldn't you want to bring that great energy back into your new space, starting afresh, starting new beginning? That's one of things that I can inspire people to do. Take a moment, really feel the new space. Do, I don't know, whatever you believe, do a prayer, take a moment to be grateful for where you came from and where you, these days there are so many people traveling, right? If we just jump from home to home, and there's a lot goes in the space.
Well, you obviously care as much about this as the people that are coming here to buy. So the important thing we've got to do now is to be able to put you in contact with them and them in contact with you. So looking at your camera over there, Inês, how do we reach you?
You can reach me on my Instagram, Inês Martins Design. I have a lot of my projects there, and you can also do on WhatsApp, which is my American number, +1 305 916 0977. And my website, of course, my website. So it's the same as actually I am harmonyliving.com.
Well, what we're going to do is obviously put all those details up for you underneath the program here. You'll see that we're sharing all over the place in all the different countries, and all Inês's contact details will be underneath there. So drop a comment, like and share, please. We want to get her information out as far as possible. So if you're here and you're looking to buy a home, maybe Inês, you contact her, maybe she'll work as a consultant with you, go in and see that space with you. I'm putting that out there. I haven't even spoken to you about that. But all these things are important to your living space, for you as a person. And let's adjust this trauma and all these disasters with the tranquility that comes with Inês Martins. Bless you. Thank you so much for coming in today. I'll check all those details with you and make sure we've got those right.
Yes.
As usual, you'll also get them with me on Living Life Algarve on my Instagram page as well. So let's do that. And so wrapping up that program, thank you very, very much indeed.
It was a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I also want to say thank you to obviously our sponsors for the program. We have currency exchange is another incredibly important thing for anybody moving here. So GC Partners based in Villamora, thank you for supporting us with that. Kit and Caboodle are maintaining sustainability throughout the Algarve. Again, incredibly important for that. The energies again, knowing that you're doing the right thing is also very important. Rosso Properties in Villamora and beyond. So maybe we can do a little bit of a synergy thing going on here. Thank you, Natalia, for your support. We also have another sponsor who is about to come on, Baz and Minnie's Bar in Quarteira. And Baz has asked me to say a special happy birthday to Magella, who apparently, Magella, you're going to be 50 on the 14th. So whoop, whoop. Happy birthday to you from Baz and Minnie's Bar in Quarteira and all of us here at Conectv. We've got lots of other things that are lining up, including Mimis, who are coming in from Ireland, who are going to teach us how to survive the menopause. That's going to be a good one. So until then, thank you very much for joining us. Look out for all our details. Remember to support, like, share. What else do you do? Follow. You can follow us as well. And we will see you again in a couple of weeks. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Natalia Rosso Properties. Your wise investment is our high priority.
Kit and Caboodle, high-quality pre-loved furniture. GC Partners, our service is our currency. At Living Life Algarve by Catherine Almeida.